Hey guys, it's Ivory. Welcome back to my channel where I talk about all things from mental health and wellness to days in my life. As you can see from the title of this video and the background, today's video is for all of my plant lovers. I am going to be showing you how I do my flush day for the plants that I have in semi-hydro. If you're not sure what semi-hydro is, then I did make 2 or 3 videos where I showed you the whole process of converting some of my plants to semi-hydro, and I did a checkup on them. So please pause this video, go back and watch those videos first so you can learn all about what semi-hydro is, and then come back because this video is for after you already have your plants in semi-hydro and you are refreshing the nutrients. So what is a flush day? So a flush day is something that I do about every 2 weeks. Some people do it every 3 weeks, every month even. The goal is to flush the plants, so to get rid of everything that may have built up in the LECA or the pond or whatever you're using. So you want to go through and flush everything out with just plain water, and you want to replenish or completely refreshen the nutrient solution. I'm going to show you how I do that. Basically what I do is I take all of my plants that are in semi-hydro and I put them to the side, and then for each one I'm gonna go through, kind of give the LECA a bath with just plain water, wash off the plant as well. And this kind of helps also to make sure that your plants are just staying healthy and clean over time. So after I go ahead and kind of give them that little bath, then I also clean out the cashpo completely. So pour that nutrient water out, wash it out with water or soap and water if it seems like there's been a lot of buildup, and then I put in all fresh nutrients. So let's get started. So the very first thing that you want to make sure you have is a nutrient solution. So I have some leftover from my last flush day, so I'm gonna go ahead and use this up first, and then I'm going to use my nutrients to make a new solution for the rest of the plants. This is a plant I do want to talk to you about. This is my peace lily, and as you can see, this poor leaf is going through some things. However, I'm not worried about it. This leaf is at least 2 years old, if not older. I had a previous leaf that went through the same process. I don't think it's because of overwatering. The rest of the plant is doing really well. It's putting out a lot of new growth. And the reason why this plant is, yes, it's a peace lily, but the reason why it's so small, I think I talked about it in a previous video, but it came from a bigger plant. I completely killed that plant while it was in soil, and so this leaf, and one other large leaf were the only leaves that I could save out of that whole plant. So all of this down here, all of these are all new growth. So I think it's actually doing quite well. The leaves are starting to get bigger and bigger. So I think eventually it's gonna get pretty bushy, but I do wanna show this because I am gonna go ahead and clip off this yellowing leaf and check the roots. I'm just gonna show you the roots just so that you can see that yes, this plant is still doing well, even though this leaf looks horrible right now. Okay, so you can see that for the most part, these roots look good. They look healthy, juicy. There are some that are not the best, but I'm not super surprised to see this. These could just be some of the original roots that died off. They weren't water roots and they didn't like transform into water roots. So it's fine. You just pick those off, put them to the side to throw away later, and keep going. I'm trying to decide where I want to cut this. I think I'm just going to cut it as low as possible, but I'm also quite afraid that that may ruin the rest of the plant, so I'm just going to chop it right here. Oh no, there was a new one growing inside of it. Wow, that's interesting. Well, I cut that off. I probably should have just let it grow out, but yeah, so here you go, Plant Chronicles with Ivorie. There was a whole new leaf growing inside of it. Oh my God, do you see that? Now I'm super sad that I cut it. Moral of the story, learn from my mistake. Don't cut it, just let it fall off, because you never know if there are whole new leaves growing in the leaf that's dying. Who knew? Probably someone who is actually good at plants, not me, but so here we go. Anyway, luckily I have the rest of these that are still doing very well, and now I know for the future to not just cut off the yellowing leaf. I'm so sad about that. Oh my gosh. I wonder if it's gonna keep growing. I'm really sad. Do you guys remember this peperomia? So I actually showed this in my plant update video. This was a new peperomia that I had bought, tried to move it to LECA, did not do well, and so I just let it grow water roots. And it has been thriving in LECA for at least a month. It's doing so well. It's growing a lot. You can see like there's new growth coming in. I know a lot of people say that peperomias do not like LECA. The thing is, peperomias don't like LECA when you immediately move them to LECA. They like a transition period, give them time to grow water roots and shed their other roots, and then you can put them into LECA. I ran out of the mix that I had previously had, so I am here with a fresh gallon of water, and I'm just gonna go ahead and mix in my nutrients. So when I first transition my plants to semi-hydro, I usually start with a nutrient water that is lower in nutrients. Right now I'm up to 5 milliliters per nutrient solution. In the winter though, I am going to cut back on some of the solution. Oh God, I just got that everywhere. What the heck? Let me show y'all part of the horror of semi-hydro is if you are clumsy like me, you will knock over a whole plant. And there we have it, like all over the floor, water all over the floor. Please excuse this blanket. So I'm gonna show this one to you guys as an update. So this is the dumb cane that I had previously been very, very concerned about because the leaves just kept yellowing. So it actually did have 3 leaves yellow recently. I just plucked these off. Not quite sure what's up with that. But look at these roots. Like, this is incredible. The roots were actually growing out of the bottom of the pot. Not a big deal because these are water roots. I accidentally knocked it over, which is the only reason I actually took it out of the LECA. I didn't intend to check on the roots, but oh my God, this is crazy. But yeah, I just wanted to show you this. Also, it's been thriving. Like, after the initial shock, I guess, of going into semi-hydro, this plant started thriving and it's constantly putting out new growth. Like, you can see one here, like this one's new. There's just, it's like another one over here. It's constantly putting out new growth. This plant actually really loves LECA. This one I want to show you all because it's one of the newest ones that I've moved to semi-hydro, and it hasn't really been too happy with it. Last time I checked the roots, they were pretty much turning black, and then it's also been losing some leaves. Like, you can see this one's yellowing, and I just clipped off a couple of them. So I'm just gonna pour this out, check on the roots. So you can see that these roots do not look great. Actually, a lot of them look quite gross. So there's a lot of roots that are just like falling off, as you can see here, like a lot. What to end up doing is just moving this plant to pure water right now until it grows some water roots. And then I can stick it back in LECA. I did that with another plant of mine, another pothos actually. This is a pothos, and I hear some people saying that their pothos do not do well in LECA, and they're probably experiencing what I'm experiencing right now. What I ended up doing with my last pothos that this happened to is I just moved it to water for a while, again, until it grew those water roots, and then I put it in LECA, and it's actually doing really well right now. I'm just gonna leave it in here for a few weeks until I start to see that the roots are really developing. You can actually do this with any plant that you feel is not doing well in LECA, or that you're afraid it won't do well in LECA. Just put it in water for a little bit. This has actually helped save a lot of my plants that I wanted to move to LECA. All right, guys, that's the end of my semi-hydro flush day. I hope you learned something. I hope your plants thrive. As you can see, it's not a perfect process, but it's okay. I promise you, stick with it. Your plants will be fine. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.